Hi, Suhan.
Hi, Sham. Hi, Sham. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. You're recording the session already?
No, I don't know who's recording it. Let me see if I can stop that because I don't have this one here. From your side, can you stop any recording there? If you're the host, then
No, I don't have access.
Acha. Hi, Kareem. How are you?
Hi, how are you?
I'm good, alhamdulillah. How is everything with you?
Thanks a lot. Everything is fine. Thank you so much. How are you? How's everything with you?
Hi, Karim.
Alhamdulillah, so far so good.
Hi, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good.
So, are you really enjoying our meetings?
Yeah, it's really amazing. Yeah, I like it, and it increase really the public speaking skills on the spot and the confidence of everyone here. It's really very beneficial.
Great, great. We all started journey just like you only, and from that phase till now, it's like we don't see that to be the same person anymore.
Yeah,
as how
yeah, I
we
hope so.
started.
I'm still in the beginning. Excuse me, I will just answer the phone and get back to
Sure,
you.
sure. Take your time. Take your time.
Sorry, dear.
It's okay. It's okay. No issues.
So who have the speech today?
We three, of course, over here now, and
Okay.
there are more like Hanan, Sairam, Amrit. Yeah,
Yeah.
the other three are there.
Mm. All the best. All the best,
Thank
guys.
you, and wish you the same. And I hope you all I hope you keep getting, you keep learning with us throughout your Toastmasters journey.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying it, and I'm trying to get the benefit from it. I hope I can develop myself really with you. Thank you so much.
Inshallah, you will, because just like you, where we started, we all are there.
Yeah,
Inshallah, all the best.
I know.
Hello.
Hi,
Hi,
Ari.
Arij.
Hi, everyone.
Hi.
How was
Hi,
the
how are you,
visit?
Arij?
Hi, Kareem.
Hi, Ari. How are you?
Fine, alhamdulillah.
Hi,
Shyam,
Arish. Good evening.
good evening. How's everything? Where are
Yeah.
you disappearing? Where you are disappearing?
I'm here at the Desert Pioneers.
Yeah, I know. That day I wanted, when we were in Elite Debaters, I totally forgot I was calling you to open the meeting.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is this, office, it is eating my time like anything.
Yeah. Yalla, good.
So you have these 4 days holidays, right? I mean, starting from today?
Yeah. Actually, even yesterday I took off
Yes.
because we are constructing the kitchen. So everything inside the kitchen was in the living room. So we didn't have any living those 2 days.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah,
Re-engineering.
we just finished today. Oh my God. So yeah, it was hectic.
No, it
So I
feels, it
couldn't.
feels good. You're going to see a new home, like,
It's just the kitchen and some yeah, we can feel something new now. It's good to feel always there is
yes,
something new. Yeah.
and the two in this like festive season, like time. That's really
Yeah,
perfect.
exactly. Well, I'm
Good evening.
super tired. هلا
Good
حبيبتي كيف؟
evening, Hanan. How are you?
Hi, all good.
Hi,
Good, good.
Hanan.
Hi, Shyam, how are you?
Yes, I'm good.
طب I will make my coffee and come back.
Yalla, waiting for you.
Sure.
Okay.
And the meeting is under recording.
Who's recording?
I don't know. The moment we logged in, it is saying recording.
Oh,
I wish everyone comes on time. Hi, Sairam. Finally. Captain America.
Good evening, Sairam garu.
గుడ్ ఈవినింగ్ అండి, ఎలా ఉన్నారు?
Yeah.
గుడ్ ఈవినింగ్ హనాన్, హరీష్, కరీం, హౌ ఆర్ యూ?
Fine. Hi, how are you?
సూపర్ సూపర్. హాయ్ సుహాన్.
Hi, Sairam. How are you?
సూపర్.
Yeah, Sairam, we are recorded.
No, I switched off my camera.
Yeah, still under recording. Hi, Sebastian.
Hi
Hi,
everyone.
Sebastian. Good evening.
Good
Nice
evening.
to
Good
see you
evening.
after a long
Am I-
time.
Am I audible?
Yes.
Oh, yes.
One second. Where do I-
గుడ్ ఈవినింగ్ సవి భాయ్.
Good evening, Sairam. How are you?
సూపర్. కాఫీ విత్ సవి.
Today, coffee with Sebastian.
Coffee with.
No, it is a binding thread with Sebastian, actually.
యా.
Rendezvous with Sebastian.
Rendezvous with Sebastian. So, how many people do we have here? We have just 8 people now. Okay. I think we have 5 minutes to go, right?
Yes.
4. Yeah.
4, 5.
But today it was
Okay.
too tough to arrange all the other players. Actually, great grass. Evaluate 1, 2, 2, 3, 3 speakers and 4 speakers and 2 evaluators. So
Yes.
Shyam garu kuda speaker kada.
Okay, 1 second.
Good evening, all.
Yes.
Good evening.
Good evening, Anand. Okay, one
Hi.
second.
Let me adjust my lighting. I think it's too much.
No, you're perfect.
Thank you.
You're always perfect, Hannah.
I love you.
Uh-huh. And aware of other people. 2 minutes to go now.
Yes. Do we have speaker 1? Nan is there. Okay.
Speaker 4.
Kareem is there. Speaker 3, Sairam. Suhan is there. Amrit and Shyam. Shyam is there. Okay, Amrit. Amrit is missing. Okay, I need to call him.
We have Hanan. Who do we not have?
Amrit is not there.
Amrit, Subish.
Yeah. Amrit, Subish, Alan, Asil,
Alan,
Hari.
Asil, Hari, and Fakhruddin.
Yeah, our general evaluator,
Yeah.
not on time.
We need a general evaluator for the general evaluator. Okay. What do we? Who do we have then to begin? Sham is here. Sairam is here.
Yourself is there. Then Priyadarshan is there as timer. Hi, Priyadarshan.
We're missing Harry, Subish, Alan, and Asil, and Fakhruddin.
Yes, our main general evaluator.
So we
And
have
also-
Hanan, the first speaker, and DTM arranged the first evaluator.
Good evening.
The combination,
Hi,
right?
Asil.
That combination we have. We have
Hi, Asil.
Asil is here.
Start or not yet?
About to.
Hey.
Okay. Amrit is there now. Hi, Amrit.
Hello.
Yeah. Hi, Amrit.
Hi, Amrit.
Hi, how are you doing? Give me 1 second. I'm trying to log in from my PC.
Okay.
Sairam, you are calling the Fakhruddin, sir? Subish. We are missing Subish.
Okay, I'll check on him.
Subish, Alan, and Hari.
And Harry, yes.
Yeah, Fakhruddin is starting our meeting. Actually, we need to wait, right, till G join us.
Oh, we are waiting for you.
Okay, Hari is there.
I think we should begin.
Fakhruddin also has come.
Yes, our general evaluator, Toastmaster Fakhruddin is here. Okay, Toastmaster Sham, we can start now.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, fellow Toastmasters and distinguished guests. Happy National Day and holidays to all of you. A warm welcome to all of you for today's team meeting of Binding Thread of Desert Pioneers Toastmaster Club. This is our 414th meeting and 37th virtual meeting. You all look so amazing and ebullient. My name is Shyam Sundar and I'm your Sergeant at Arms today. I will read out Toastmasters mission statement. We provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. Let me also read out the club rules. Please make sure your internet connectivity is good. Please note that this meeting is being recorded. Turn off your mics when you're not speaking. Please do not talk about sex, religion, and politics during this meeting. Without further delay, I would like to invite our dynamic president, who will take this meeting forward. Please help me welcome President Toastmaster Sairam Santosh.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sham, for the warm welcome. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters, guests, and our General Evaluator, Toastmaster Fakhruddin. How are you all? Great. And First of all, happy Hala February, or I don't know how could I say, because last year today when we started facing the corona, this pandemic situation. It's been 1 year, and we are striving for good, and all of us are in a good situation as far as my view and observations are concerned. So we hope for the best in the upcoming year. Now, let me acknowledge the presence of our guests for today's meeting. No, we don't have any guests for today's meeting except Toastmaster Priyadarshan Reddy, who is taking the timer role, and Mr. Toastmaster Fakhruddin as General Evaluator. Okay, nice. Toastmasters is a platform where you can improve your communication and build leadership skills. And Desert Pioneers Toastmasters Club will give you that opportunity to explore yourself personally and professionally. Without any further delay, let me please help me welcome the host of today's meeting. He is the first president of Dreamweaver's Toastmasters Club. He is too good at write-up. He is the main backbone of our Desert Pioneers Toastmasters Club to prepare any kind of newsletters or write-up for any kind of meeting. He is none other than Toastmaster Sebastian. Toastmaster Sebastian, the meeting is yours.
Thank you very, very much, Toastmaster Sairam, for that warm welcome. I should say it's a pleasure to be back with the Desert Pioneers Toastmasters. I think the last meeting I attended with Desert Pioneers was back in October. I can't recall the date, but that's probably when I was part of the Desert Pioneers meeting last. Very warm welcome to everyone. A very good evening to everyone present here today. I can see very, very familiar faces, and it's as if I was never away. You know, it's always nice to see smiling faces, everyone who knows me, everyone who I know as well. And yes, overall, it's a nice feeling to be back with you people. And that too, as a Toastmaster of the day for today's special meeting, I should say. As a Toastmaster of the day, I will be typically your host for today's evening. And before we even begin the meeting and the celebratory feeling of the meeting and everything, I would like to touch upon one serious aspect of what has happened in the last 2 days, I guess. Before we proceed, we should acknowledge this before we start with the meeting. A very eminent member of our of Desert Pioneers Toastmasters, Toastmaster Shiraz, lost his father, I think yesterday or day before, if I'm not mistaken. I would request the timer for today, Toastmaster Priyadarshan, I'm guessing, to kindly timers on just 30 seconds of silence as we observe our solidarity and our grief towards Toastmaster Shiraz's immense loss. Losing a parent is, you know, I can't speak it out in words. It's a feeling that each of us can, you know, kind of sympathize with Toastmaster Shiraz during this period of grief of his. So Toastmaster Priyadarshan, just can you time us for 30 seconds silence? I would request everyone to kindly mute their microphones, please.
Toastmaster Sebastian, 30 seconds is up.
Thank you very much, everyone. And moving forward, let's begin with today's special meeting, the Speakathon meeting. It has been designed to help us or to enable us to listen to seasoned speakers at a stretch. Normally, we have like what, 2 or 3 speakers in a normal Toastmasters meeting, but today we have a really good lineup of seasoned speakers that we can listen to and take away a lot from their different styles, the content of the speeches and the evaluation segment as well. Well, the theme I've chosen for today's meeting is what I call the binding thread. Now, if you're looking forward to me sharing my screen and showing you a PowerPoint presentation, I'm sorry or I have to disappoint you. I would rather have you look at my handsome face today because I believe we have come a long way. Like Toastmaster Sairam said, we used to have our venue meetings, and I think the more we can see each other, the better, instead of looking at a prepared PowerPoint presentation. So the more we look at each other's smiling faces, the more at home we will feel. Right? So today's meeting, the binding thread, is in acknowledgement and gratitude that we have for the state of Kuwait. Right? We all come from various nationalities, from various faiths, from various communities. And there's this one binding thread that connects all of us. And that is none other than the state of Kuwait. We're all here in Kuwait. Maybe, I don't know, if maybe some of us might be currently physically in India, I'm not sure. But then, yes, Kuwait is what connects all of us together. Right? Having said that, how does it connect us in today's meeting? There is another binding thread here, which is none other than Toastmasters International. Right? Toastmasters International connects us who are here today with everyone across the world that is connected to the Toastmasters International fraternity. And that takes us global. I'm not sure today. I don't think Toastmasters Sairam, do we have anyone connected to us internationally today? I'm not sure. I don't think so. Okay. Anyways, I would also like to say here, I would like to ask maybe 1 or 2 of you, what according to you is liberation, the word liberation? Anyone, just a 1 sentence, maybe.
Freedom.
Freedom. Anyone else?
Liberation of thoughts.
Liberation of thoughts. Okay. Asil and Fakhruddin, both of you are correct. There's no wrong answer here. And freedom and liberation of thought is what Toastmaster gives us. It gives us the opportunity to exercise this freedom of thought, this liberation of thought, in putting our views across in our various speeches, in our various evaluations, our table topics, our presentations, our workshops, and various other things that we Toastmasters enables us to do. In terms of writing, in terms of presenting our speeches, in terms of attending events across the world. Virtual meetings has opened our eyes and given us an opportunity, I would say, to learn more technology, which we probably did not have an opportunity when we used to have venue meetings. We used to rely on Toastmaster DTM Allen for all the technicalities. Now we know how to do these things ourselves as well. So yes, virtual meetings, though it has taken away the thrill of a venue meeting, they've brought us to a stage where we have learned a little more technology than we normally would have known.
Sure.
So I'll take you through the structure of the meeting today. Today's meeting, being a special meeting, is designed around prepared speeches. Normally, the first part that we are in right now is the President's address, which Toastmaster Sairam has given. And now comes the introductions of the theme, which I already gave you, and the role players. The second part of the meeting will be the prepared speeches, where various Toastmasters deliver the speeches that they prepared based on their respective pathways and levels and projects. Today, we have some really tremendous and ebullient speakers, I should say, lined up to enthrall us all. The third section would normally have been the table topics section, but because today's meeting is a special speakathon meeting, we would not be having the table topics. If there's any guests here, for the benefit of the guest, I would like to tell you that table topics is a section where we invite the members of the audience to give 1 to 2 minute speeches on randomly chosen topics on the spot. And then we have the fourth section, which is the evaluation section, where the general evaluator, along with his team of evaluators and the role players, would give a report and evaluation on the speeches and on various other aspects of the meeting. And then there's also another segment, which is the business related segment, where any important announcements are made and the upcoming events are announced, or any notices that have to be given that would be taken care of by the club president. And also the rewards ceremony for that particular meeting. Now, as a part of the first section, let me start with introducing my role players who would help me take this meeting to conclusion. We have with us Toastmaster Priyadarshan Reddy, who is going to be the timer and the tech master for today's meeting. Toastmaster Priyadarshan, I would request you to please unmute yourself and quickly explain your role to the audience today.
Hello, Desert Pioneers. All the very best for the speakathon. So my role as a timer, I'll be indicating the standard lights of the Toastmaster guidelines. Today we have all the 5 to 7 minutes general speeches. So I'm trying to use my cam software, but unfortunately I have some issues. So I'll be changing the background. Let me show you. At 5 minutes, I'll be showing green, and at 6 minutes, I'll be showing yellow, and 7 minutes, I'll be showing red, and you'll be having 30 seconds grace period. And for the evolution part, I'll explain later on. Over to the Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Priyadarshan. As a Toastmaster meeting, we have a very considerable role of one specific person for every Toastmaster meeting. That is of what I would say like a supervisor role, a police inspector, you could call him. And we in the Toastmasters fraternity call this role the general evaluator role. The general evaluator for today's meeting is a member of another club that I am a member too, the Dreamweavers Toastmasters Club. We have Toastmaster Fakhruddin with us today, who will be the general evaluator for today's meeting. Toastmaster Fakhruddin, I request you to kindly unmute yourself and explain your role as the general evaluator for today's meeting.
Good evening, Toastmasters of the day, fellow Toastmasters and my dear guest. Well, it's an honor and privilege to play a role of a general evaluator in such a seasoned club. My responsibility as a general evaluator, as GM Sebastian just now described, to be a police, to be an overall inspector, to ensure that each and every session has been conducted smoothly and give my constructive feedback. Apart from that, I have some other roles and responsibilities to introduce the evaluators, to evaluate the valuable speakers, to introduce the role players such as timer, R counter, and grammarian to give their reports, and to announce the awards at the end and hand over the podium back to Toastmasters of the day. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Toastmaster Fakhruddin. I'm sure you'll do a good job of the inspector for today. And moving on, we have now reached the second segment of the meeting today, the one we've all been waiting for, and that is the speakathon section. We today have with us 6 speakers. 6, yes, 6 speakers lined up, waiting, ready, prepared to give and deliver their speeches to us as we listen in awe. So let us respect the speakers for their preparation that they've done, and make sure, as the Sergeant of Arms explained, keep ourselves on mute so that only the speaker can be heard and there is no disturbance. So I would like to now invite the evaluator for the first speaker, Toastmaster, distinguished Toastmaster Arij, who will be evaluating the first speaker, Toastmaster Hanan Halush, on a speech. DTM Arij, I asked DTM Arij via message yesterday, a sentence or two about how Kuwait has positively impacted her life. What she had to say is the good thing that she feels about Kuwait is that she has a whole family here. And what's more important than family? DTM Arij, I would request you to kindly take us through the pathways, the level, the project, the objective, and the title of the DTM Hanan's speech that you are just about to evaluate.
Thank you so much. Good evening, everyone. I hope you all are having a great evening. Of course, you are at Desert Pioneer, so of course you're having a wonderful evening. I believe so. Today, I am going to evaluate one of the amazing speakers in Toastmasters Kuwait and around the world, actually. Toastmasters, the lovely, the one and only Hanan Halush. She is embarking her speech project 2 from level 2 in the effective coaching pathway. Her objectives for today, and these I want you all to listen carefully to it because these what I am going to evaluate her based on, and I wish that all of you will give the feedback to her based on those objectives. So her purpose of this project is for her to learn about different communication styles and identify her primary style of communication. And it's also for her to share the impact of her style on others. Her speech title, Suzanne, Layla, and me. And her, of course. But Suzanne, Layla, and me. Back to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Arij. I would like to invite Toastmaster Hanan to deliver her speech. Toastmaster Hanan, all the very best.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day, and good evening, my fellow pioneers. Meet my friend, Suzanne. Suzanne is a married woman. Unfortunately, she's not happily married. She's upset and frustrated. Why? Because her Superman, her husband, doesn't help her with the house chores. She thinks that her husband should observe what's happening at home and what is needed to be done and do it without her asking for it. When he didn't, she became resentful. She thought if she can see it, why can't her husband see it also? Her husband, poor husband, on the other hand, was oblivious. He didn't know what's going on. So when her husband asked Susan to go to bed, all Susan thinks of is all the dishes that need to be washed, all the laundry that needed to be folded, and all the toys that need to be gathered and kept in the cupboard. If these chores were going through Susan's mind, they certainly weren't going through Superman. So instead of asking him for help, Susan would get angry and would tell her husband, "Go away. I will not go to bed with you." Poor husband, to stay away And now to make Susan more angry, he would just go away and just sleep alone. Miscommunication eventually drifted them apart and affected their relationship. Meet my second friend, Laila. Laila is a manager, but she hates confrontations. She thinks that she should manage her team indirectly through memos and reminders, and she never met any one of her team members individually. She thinks that's the best way to manage her team behavior. She never gave them clear instruction, face-to-face clear instructions and expectations. As you can see, we all speak different languages when it comes to communication. Like some people really get impatient with too many details, with the small talks. They want to go to the bottom line immediately, while others, they really get offended if you just get into their office and start talking on a Sunday morning and start talking on a project before asking them how was their weekend. Now, let me share my PowerPoint presentation and introduce to you the different communication styles and what is my communication style. Can you, host, give me the opportunity to share my presentation, please?
It's done.
Okay, great, thank you. Now, we have mainly the following communication styles. Direct communicator is decisive, is competitive, speaks quickly and directly. Spirited communicator is a people person. He's enthusiastic and persuasive. Systematic. He's a communicator who is detail-oriented, precise, and good at problem solving. A considerate communicator is good listener, values relationships, and good team leader. Now, there is, for every communication style, there is advantages and disadvantages, but there is no right or wrong with any of these communication styles. Now, some of you might know or might not know, but you will know now, I am a direct communicator. I use clear, definitive statements. There's no pretense or hidden messages. I talk to get or give information for one or a group of people to another. We are comfortable telling others what to do. We use words like should, have to. We tell others why their ideas should be adopted. Now, as an example of a direct communicator, if for example, if I want a salary raise, I would go to my manager and tell him, I'd like a 5% salary raise. While an indirect communicator would say something like, I worked really hard this year. I was wondering if there is any extra money in the budget this year for salaries. And then let the boss figure out what exactly this indirect communicator wants. Let me now tell you what are the advantages and disadvantages of direct communicators. We are mission-oriented. We want to achieve results quickly. We are highly conscious of time. We are decisive, and we embrace change as a challenge. Some of the people around us see us as intimidating, insensitive, because we think of facts, not feelings, impatient, argumentative, and we are really having workaholic tendencies. Now, for you all around me who are indirect communicators to be able to communicate with me as a direct communicator, keep your communication brief and get to the point quickly. Focus on facts rather than feelings. Match the rapid speech by speeding yours up if necessary. Ask questions directly and don't waste our time with long explanations or too many details. Now, what do we direct communicators, what exactly I learned after a while of my life? I learned to avoid blunt comments because some of the people around you don't get me. I should pay attention to nonverbal behaviors. I should use open-ended, non-leading questions. Be flexible and respectful to other communication styles. Now, for a big portion of my time, I felt that nobody understood me. But to conclude, I was able to reach to the conclusion that in order for me to be able to influence everyone around me, I should equip my communication toolbox with both direct and indirect skills. It was crucial for me to make choices about my behavior and not to be blindly driven by my natural habits. My natural habits would tell me, focus on feelings. My natural habits would tell me, speak quickly. My natural habits would tell me, quickly, give me the facts. But eventually, I learned to listen more. I learned to pay attention to the body language. And that helped me to become a better communicator. Back to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Let us all give a big hand to Toastmaster Hanan. Wonderful direct communication. Thank you, Toastmaster Hanan, for your wonderful speech. I would request each and every member of the audience to make use of the chat feature on our Zoom application to take a few seconds and give our valuable feedback to Toastmaster Hanan on the wonderful speech that she just gave us. Well, before we move on to the next speech, I had made an announcement on the group today that I would be making this already exciting meeting a little more exciting with a few gifts. So I have the first gift that I would like to give out. Now, what is celebration? Any celebration. How do we celebrate? Generally, we celebrate the taste. We have different tastes, right? We have salty, bitter, sour, sweet, etc. What is the taste that we associate? This is not a question, though. This is just, I'm building up on the question. What is the taste that we associate with celebration?
Something that makes us happy and
Isn't,
lively.
If you're talking about salty, sweet, bitter, sour.
Sweet.
Yes. So here I have this pen with me, which is a donut, and that is a symbolic of sweetness. Now this pen, this prize will go out to the person who would give me the answer to a question that I'm about to ask. Now, I would request people not to blurt out the answers, just raise your hands, and depending on whose hand I see first, I would give that person the opportunity to answer. If the person answers wrong, then I would move on to the next person whose hand I had seen. Well, the questions that I have lined up, 5 questions, are objective questions. It is like, there can be only one right answer. So here goes. The first question. Fairly simple. I think many hands will go up here. I can already see hands going up. Well, in which year was Kuwait liberated? Toastmaster Amrit.
92. 1992.
Can someone...
Yeah.
Okay, Toastmaster Fakhruddin's hand I had seen going up.
1991.
Okay, 91 is the correct answer. Toastmaster Amrit, you missed it by a year. Never mind, there are more questions coming up. So I'm sure you would get at least one of them correct. So Toastmaster Fakhruddin, our general evaluator for the day, has won the donut pen. So I will make arrangements for all these prizes to be delivered to each of you somehow or the other. And now moving on with our Toastmaster meeting. Before I invite the second speaker, Toastmaster Kareem, I would like to request Toastmaster Asil, who is the evaluator for Toastmaster Kareem's speech, to kindly read out the pathways, level, project, the objectives, and the title of the speech that she's about to evaluate. Toastmaster Seal, kindly unmute yourself and proceed with the objectives for the speech.
Yes, good evening, everyone. Happy National Day. Today I'll be evaluating my target speaker, Kareem. He'll be delivering level 1, project 2. His purpose is for the member to present a speech on any topic, receive feedback, and apply the feedback to the second speech. The other purpose is for the member to demonstrate that he or she has applied the feedback received from his or her first speech. He has 5 to 7 minutes. The title of his project, The Problem of Average. The Problem of Average.
So let us now welcome Toastmaster Kareem. Toastmaster Kareem, all the very best.
Kareem,
you're on mute. Kindly unmute yourself and start again, start over.
In statistics, adding all numbers together and dividing them by how many numbers will give you a result. This result is called average. Dear fellow Toastmaster and dear guests, good evening. An average is a single number or a single value that represents a list or a set of values, and it's taken to represent them. For example, if you have 2, 3, and 4, and you want to represent them by only one number, you should add 2 plus 3 plus 4, which will give you 9, divided by how many of them, divided by 3 will give you 3. So 3 will be the average. I'm sure many of you has been used these terms and listened to it a lot before. For example, how many average coronavirus per day? What is the average purse per day, per year? What is the average salary in this country? And so on. So term average is very beneficial, and it has a lot of benefits that we use it in our daily life. Today, I will try to show you also the other side of the average by the example. Suppose now we are 49 people in a bus from Desert Pioneer Toastmaster, and we are going to our club after Corona have ended. And the heaviest person came to ride with us. If our average 80 kilo, does the heaviest person, when he come and ride with 49 person, will affect the average weight? Of course, no. If our average is 80 kilo, our average weight will increase just 2 or 3 kilo. But suppose instead of heaviest person ever in the world came just Bill Gates and came and ride with us the bus. At this time, I will not talk about the weight, but I will talk about the wealth. So what is the average increase in the wealth? Does it change it? Yes, this time it changed dramatically. Let's calculate this example. If our average wealth is around 50,000 per person, and Bill Gates came with a 50 billion. So one person have 50 billion and our average is 50,000. Do the calculation again, you will find that everyone will own 1.15 billion, leaving that the average term here is totally wrong and it doesn't deserve to be mentioned in this example. So I was searching online. I found a wise quote, which is say, don't cross a river if it's with an average 4 feet deep. When I searched more, why don't cross a river if it's 4 feet deep? We can cross it, it's already shallow. I found that a lot of rivers in the world start with around inches in the 4 or 5 meters, then can transform directly to 20 feet deep, which make you easily drown. And this can cost you your life. So this is very important because here the average is masking the underlying distribution of the values. So average can be risky and you should take care of it. 5 years back, I spent my entire summer in my home on PlayStation and on TV, and I said that there's no importance for going out because at the end of my summer, I will go for Mauritius and I will compensate the amount of vitamin D and ultraviolet there. After 1 month, I went to Mauritius only for 2 days without sunscreen or without sunblock. Although everyone advised me to take sunblock, but I said it's for girls, I don't want it. And I want to compensate the amount of ultraviolet. It will be healthy for me. After 2 days, I got burned and I got second-degree burned in my skin, and it was a terrible trip. Although the average amount of the ultraviolet, if you spread it on 1 month, it will be the same. Here is the update. In our complex world, distribution has become more and more irregular. In other words, we will see Bill Gates' phenomenon in every other domains. Mathematicians call this phenomenon as a power flow, which means few extremes will dominate all the other. If you ask it, what is the average visits per website, you will find that high amount of visits per website. Although 3 or 4 websites like Google, Facebook, New York Times dominate all the visits per day. So here is the average is totally wrong, and only few dominate all the values. If your son came and asked you that the actors are taking a lot of money, a high amount of wages, like 10 million or more, there are few amount of actors, like the famous names, who takes this amount. And if you told him to take the decision on that, because the average is very high for these actors, you will be wrong, because you know that thousands of actors are on the breadline. However, few handful amount of actors are above the average. So in conclusion, if someone use term average in front of you, think it twice. It is very beneficial, but just think it twice. Try to figure out the underlying distribution. If one factor, it changes the entire picture, so you have to exclude it, like Bill Gates phenomenon. And at that time, you will fall in a problem of the average. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Kareem. I would request the members of the audience to again share their feedback with Toastmaster Kareem using the chat feature. And in the meantime, I would announce the second prize, the second gift. This is another pen. It's a toucan. It's a bird called toucan, and it's symbolic of travel. It's symbolic of fortune and favor.
Looks cute.
I'm sorry?
It looks cute.
It looks cute, yes. Well, the second question, again simple. Which country was Kuwait liberated from? Asil.
Iraq.
Okay. The cute pen goes to Toastmaster Asil. Congratulations, Toastmaster Asil. Let's move on. And now we come to our third speech. In order to introduce the third speaker, I would request distinguished Toastmaster Alan, who is an evaluator for this speaker, Toastmaster Sairam, namely. I would like Toastmaster Alan to introduce the speech objectives, the title at the project level of Toastmaster Sairam's meeting, please.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day, and a warm good evening to all my fellow pioneers and my dear friends. So Toastmaster Sairam will be embarking on his level 3 project elective known as Inspire Your Audience. His purpose statement is simple. The purpose of this project is for the member to practice writing and delivering a speech that inspires others. And the purpose for you, Toastmaster Sairam, is to inspire the audience. His speech title is Either Memory or an Experience, and speech length is 5 to 7 minutes. Wishing Toastmaster Sairam the best of luck. Over to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Welcome, Toastmaster Sairam, and I wish you, on behalf of the audience, all the very best in your speech.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters, guests, and General Evaluator. How are you all? Let me share a small story with you. Of course, it's a very well-known story to most of the people here in the meeting. There are two friends, Tom and Jerry. They are really very good friends and they live their life brilliantly. One day, both of them went to a forest for a walk to spend their weekend. During the forest, Jerry was trying to cut an apple. Unfortunately, he got injured on his finger and it was bleeding. It was so painful for him. Tom was saying, "Okay, Jerry, it's okay. Everything, nothing happened. Everything will be okay and everything will be for good. Be calm." But Jerry was crying like anything. And he was holding his friend and crying and screaming like hell. Oh, it was bleeding. It's so painful. And Tom said again, "Jerry, I told you everything is okay. Everything will be for good. Be calm, patient." Jerry got annoyed and said, "Why are you asking me to cool down? Calm down. It's paining, Tom. My finger is bleeding." And he slapped his friend Tom. Said, "Get out from here." Tom got hurt and left that place. Now Jerry is alone in that place, in that deep forest. With an upset, he continued his walk. Few minutes later, a tribe was roaming over there to find for the food. They are man-eaters as well. All of a sudden, they found Jerry. They tied up with a bamboo stick and taken him up to their location. And they took a big axe to cut his neck, because they always do community sacrifice before eat anything. Almost everything was done. All of a sudden, they saw that injured finger of Jerry. And they decided, no, we don't do the sacrifice. And they left him. Because they do sacrifice with fresh animal or human being. Since Jerry has injured finger and some blood already bleeded, they left him as it is. And Jerry was so happy and ran away from that location. Then the word from his friend Tom, "Everything will be for good," came into his mind. And he has realized that I did a mistake. I slapped him unnecessarily. I have to apologize for him. Then he went up to the Tom and said, "My friend, forgive me. Now I have realized everything." And he started explaining everything what happened to him in that forest. "Okay, this injured finger was good for me, but I have slapped you. What good happened to you?" Tom replied, "My friend Jerry, we are friends. We go each other wherever we go. I would be sacrificed in place of you if I were with you. But I left that place. So that was a good thing happened to me." And the way he was explaining that situation, the scenario to Jerry was speechless. My dear fellow Toastmasters, here the story ends. But The actual story starts here in our life. We always worried about small, big issues, everything. Let me tell you one small example, my dear fellow Toastmasters. Just think, whatever happens, even if it is bad, at that point, think it will be something for good on a long run. Let me give a small example. Last year, I was supposed to send my wife to India for the second delivery. Unfortunately, we stuck up here due to the lockdown. And my parents and her parents started thinking, oh, what happened, why it has happened to us, why only we, something like that in a negative way, because nobody was here to support us from our family members. And by God grace, we blessed with a beautiful baby girl. Till July, August, we were in a state of mind that something happened wrong to us. But later on, we have realized that it was good for us. Otherwise, I was supposed to miss my family till date, and I wouldn't able to see my second daughter till this time. So this was a good happen for me. This is my example. So I request all the fellow Toastmasters, whatever happens, be relaxed, be calm, and be patient. Finally, every right thing will become memory, every bad thing will become an experience. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sairam. Not only was your speech delivery wonderful, but the message was a very powerful takeaway for everyone who were present here today. Thank you very much. I would request the audience to kindly share your feedback with Toastmaster Sairam. And with this, I would show you the next gift. This is a peacock, symbolic of beauty and integrity. It also happens to be the national bird of India. Well, the next question for today's trivia quiz is a little tricky. What day, listen carefully, listen very carefully. What day of the week was Kuwait National Day 2020? No one? No one with guesses as well? Okay, Subish?
Wednesday?
No. Anyone else?
Tuesday?
Suhan gave the correct answer. It was a Tuesday. 25th of February 2020 was a Tuesday indeed. And Suhan, yeah, the peacock pen is yours to take. Well, moving on.
You.
Let us move on to our next speaker, who again happens to be the prize winner himself, Toastmaster Suhan. To introduce Toastmaster Suhan's speech, I would welcome Toastmaster Subish, who attempted the answer. And Toastmaster Subish, I would request you to kindly unmute yourself and take us through the speech objectives, the title, the project of Toastmaster Suhan's speech that you are about to evaluate.
Good evening, everyone. My target speaker, Toastmaster Suhan, is embarking on his journey on the pathway strategic relationships. He's presenting before us the level 1 project 2 speech. And the purpose of his speech is to present a speech on any topic, receive feedback, and apply the feedback to a second speech. The title of his speech is Bend It Like Beckham. Bend It Like Beckham. Over Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Subish. Well, Toastmaster Suhan, let us see what you have to say about how Beckham bends it. So, all the very best, Toastmaster Suhan.
This is your ball. That is your goal. Go ahead, kick it. And it's a goal! Toastmaster today, fellow Toastmasters, and my dear friends around the world. This is a story of a boy who loves to play football and aspired to become a footballer. His day begins with football and ends with football. At home, early morning, the mother yells, "Son, wake up! Get ready for your school." "All right, Mom." Beckham's getting ready. And later morning, "Son, eat your cereal." "Mom, Beckham doesn't eat cereal. He eats proteins. Otherwise, he cannot score 20 goals in 20 minutes. Afterwards, at school, the history class, the teacher asked the students, "Students, tell me, where does Queen Elizabeth I come from?" "Yes, I know. She comes from the house of David Beckham." Everyone around him got fussed with his football madness that eventually named him a football maniac. There came a time in his life that shook everything of him. One day he was getting ready to play football, and that moment his dad entered. "Son, where are you going?" "Dad, I'm going to play football." "Son, are you serious about your studies first of all?" Said, "Yes, I'm studying enough to get good grades." "Yeah, I have seen you getting a big 0 in your maths test." "Dad, that 0 is nothing. But once I kick towards my goal, that 0 disappears." "Son, football will not bring any wonder to your life. Why are you having this football madness? I work day and night to give you good education so that you live a happy life. I don't know where this football madness came from. Cut it, Dad. I'm going for a practice." He walked out, crossing across the street, and there he was just about to reach the football ground. As he stepped down, a raging car came from nowhere, hit his left leg, and he tumbled around and he hit towards the pavement and he felt unconscious. Later, he regained his consciousness and he found out that he was lying in the bed of the hospital. And there, the doctors told him that he cannot play football for a few days. The boy grew pale and uncomfortable and, I can't play. That made him so agitated that he grew pale and furious about it. Few days passed and he went to the football ground. As he went ahead and he started playing, as usual, he went ahead to kick the ball. And, the pass turned out to be a disastrous one that made him hurt and underconfident. He thought that he has lost that fire inside him. He was sitting aside, demotivated. At that moment, he felt a touch on his shoulder. It was his father. "Son, don't you have this? Don't lose faith. You can do this. If David Beckham loses one match, do you think he'll sit in pain like you? No. He will also go ahead and play until he gets it." And that boy, at that moment, visualized David Beckham in his thoughts. This is your ball. That is your goal. Go ahead and kick it. And with that drive and motivation, he got up, he went to the ground, and he started improving his practice, his moves, his consistency until the day of the match arrived. He went to the ground and the game started. It was 9-9 and it was 1 goal to go. The boy was called for the penalty kick. He prepared his steps and he was ready. Before going ahead, he again visualized the thoughts from David Beckham. This is your ball. That is your goal. Go ahead, kick it. And the ball took a step. And it's a goal! His team and him won this match with honor and prosperity. All you see is that this match has given him that honor and the courage that no matter what happens, he will never give up. As far as the boy who is concerned in the story, that's no one other than me. I am that David Beckham who has bent that ball during that last match. And I don't play football much, but I still play the game of life. That is life itself. So always remember, always have faith in yourself, never give up. Remember, now you know what your game is, just bend it like Beckham. Over to you.
Wonderful speech, Toastmaster Suhan. Like I said earlier, I would like to say it again. Not only are the speech is wonderful, delivery of the speech is wonderful, but we are gaining a lot of valuable messages from each and every speech that we're listening today, I should say. I would request the audience to now share their feedback with Toastmaster Suhan on the speech that he just delivered. And now comes the time for the fourth prize. Here, what you see here is an astronaut. An astronaut is a symbolic of technological advancement, of how we have advanced as people, how we've advanced as humanity. And only liberation and freedom can enable us to advance in this manner. So my next question here is again related to our Kuwait National Day, Liberation Day celebrations, and very objective question, straightforward. And I think again, many hands will go up here. In which year did Sheikh Abdullah al-Salem al-Sabah ascend to the throne, marking the National Day? In which year did Sheikh Abdullah al-Salem al-Sabah ascend to the throne, marking our present Kuwait's National Day? Anybody? Nobody? No guesses?
1991.
Okay, Hanan?
It's a guess. 1961?
No.
No?
It's 1961.
1992.
1961 is associated with it. With
1992.
But that's not the day he ascended. No.
1968.
No, Toastmaster Allen.
1958.
1950. 1950.
Who was that? Who was that?
Sham.
Dinesh.
Yes. Toastmaster Sham is right with 1950.
Was it Dinesh? Dinesh said it.
Toastmaster Sham, right?
Yes, someone has fast internet.
Yeah. So Toastmaster Sham, you take the technological symbolic astronaut pen. Well, let's move on quickly. We are running.
No questions about food? Like,
food was the first question with the donut. Well, now we have our fifth speaker, Toastmaster Amrit, who would be taking the stage. To introduce Toastmaster Amrit, I would request the evaluator for Toastmaster Amrit, Toastmaster Hanan, to take us through Toastmaster Amrit's speech objectives, the project title, etc. Toastmaster Hanan, over to you.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster of the Day. Toastmaster Amrit is delivering his speech from Visionary Communication Pathway, Level 2, Project 1. The purpose of this project is to identify his primary leadership style or styles. And the duration of his speech is 5 to 7 minutes. The title of his speech, When Lincoln Met Corleone. I'm sure Amrit will just amend the names for me. And with this, back to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Hanan. And Toastmaster Amrit, I'm waiting to hear this speech. It sounds like a very intriguing title. All the very best.
I'm actually looking for one of my friend whom I invited for this meeting. I can't find him. It's okay. It's a national day. Everyone must be having their own plans. Good evening, Toastmaster of the Day and my lovely Pioneers fam. As I told you, I had invited one of my friends to the meeting today. Why? Because he was behind me asking about Toastmasters. What? I ask everyone who asked me about Toastmasters, I asked him also. Why do you want to know about Toastmasters? Why do you want to join our meeting or the club? The answer he gave me actually made me think a lot about it, and it was really interesting. He told me he wanted to figure out what leadership is actually about. He told me leadership looks like a mirage for him. The more he runs closer to it and feels that he is in control, he loses it completely. So, my dear friends, let me introduce you to my friend, Abby. Now, Abby, he shared few instances with me in his life. Few of which I know because he was my classmate during the graduation, engineering. Abby loves football. He was not that great of a player, no, but he used to love it, love the sport. He used to arrange matches. He used to follow football like anything. One school, one government school next to us was planning to train their students for a football match. Now, the principal of the school, seeing Abby's passion for football, asked him if he could train the kids. It was like a dream come true for Abby. He was all set to train his squad. Days passed. He started training his kids. Now, you know how a high school student team would be. They used to never listen to Abby. He used to start his preparation like, okay, guys, let's meet up at the ground tomorrow morning, 5 a.m., okay? And used to end up like, guys, I need you to be there at the ground 5 a.m. Otherwise, I would come to your home and splash water on your head. This was a story. But days passed, he never got control of the kids. He was sad. Then he started following the coaches, different coaches of football, different club. And he found out that they were all following the coaching style in leadership. What is coaching style? He wanted to spend individual time, one-on-one time with each of his students or trainees, training them one by one, understanding their needs. He even took the club to state level. Some of his players went even to the national level. That was like an achievement for him. Now, when Abby went after his graduation to his job, his dream job, he was in a managerial position. The company wanted him to implement a lot of changes in the office. But again, in his dream job, Abby was not finding happiness. Why? Because he was not able to control or get the desired results from his team. He was very sad. Then his mentor, his director, approached him. He told Abby, you are young, you are ebullient, energetic, exuberant. We need you to bring about certain changes in the company, which is not short term. You have innovative ideas, but you have to put in a bit of altruistic style to get them in picture. So Abby was confused. He was listening to this term for the first time. Altruistic, what it is? When you have to do certain big changes to a group of people who are accustomed with a continuing pattern, you have to have understanding about the way they work, everything, and to bring in that sort of a change in picture. So Abby worked on that. He understood like each demand of each team and worked on it. And eventually, over the period of time, he was successful in getting it done. But again, going forward, he was getting confused about different terms, different leadership styles, and a lot of them. So it makes sense for him to come and attend Toastmasters, because here you will get to deal with a lot of different styles in leadership, isn't it? Our humorous champion, Vice President membership, shall I forward Abby's number to you? Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Amrit, for that wonderful speech. And we also learned a new word, altruistic, from your speech. Thank you very much for that. The audience is requested hereby to share their feedback via chat to Toastmaster Amrit. I have another prize coming up, but I will give that at the end of the sixth speech. I will now move forward with our sixth speaker, Toastmaster Sham. To introduce Toastmaster Sham's speech, I will request his evaluator, Toastmaster Hari Prasad, to kindly take us to the speech objectives and the various other details of Toastmaster Sham's speech today.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day, Sebastian. Good evening to all. Today my target speaker, Toastmaster Sam Sundar, embarking speech in level 4, project 1, from Dynamic Leadership Pathways. The purpose of this project is for the member to practice developing a change management plan. The purpose of this speech is for the member to share some aspect of a change management plan. Duration of the speech, 5 to 7 minutes. The title of the speech is, Does It Work? Sham Sundar. Sham Sundar, does it work? Forward to you.
Welcome, Toastmaster Sham, and all the very best with your speech today.
I would like to share something about pleasant but a bit of shocking environment that I came across recently. Are you with me to listen? Good evening, Toastmasters and distinguished guests. Recently, I joined one of the client's office. I signed up for 1-year project work as their information manager. The office is in 22nd floor of a commercial building in a prime location. The first day in the office, let me explain. A grand front office with reception area. When you get inside, there are glass cabins with stunning interiors, with beautiful paintings on the walls. There's a nice pantry. We can grab a cup of tea or coffee of our choice any number of times. But I felt something odd. I didn't realize what it was. I met everyone and settled in my cabin, and I started looking into my emails. After some time, there is a knock on the door. Office assistant is standing there with a file in his hand. I just waved at him, "Come on in." He came, "Sir, I need your signature on this paper." I looked at it. It's a document that I sent to the managing director a while ago. I was puzzled. It was an electronic document that I sent it to him already through email. And why do they need my signature on this paper again? First of all, why did they print it? Maybe they need my autograph. Then I put my long signature on the document. After some time, I stepped out of my cabin, and while walking, I started observing the surroundings. Then I figured out what's the odd thing. There are cabinets everywhere in each cabin and on the common areas with full of paper documents and files. The office tables are loaded with paper documents all over, and everyone is looking into the computers and papers in their hand. Then there is a flash in my mind. This is an opportunity. Now I have the first project in my hand. The project is paper to digital, transforming paper environment to digital environment. Then I started figuring out how to take this project forward. The first thing I wanted to do was survey. Take sample of the staff and do the survey. As part of this survey, the next day, I went into my MD's cabin. "Sir, I'm doing a little bit of survey. Why do you want to print the papers and use those papers again? Because there is an already electronic document in your computer." Then MD said, coolly, "My dear, if there is a paper document in my hand, if I don't like it, I can just throw it on the person's face. This is what I like. Oh my God, what it is." I just rushed out of the room and I looked for another person to continue my survey. There's a beautiful lady on the next cab. I just said, "Madam, I'm doing a survey. I just want to gather some information from you. Why do you want to print these papers? There's an already email, and why are you printing again?" I said, "Look, every time I print a paper, the smell that comes out of the new paper, brand new paper, it gives me a kick. I like it. That's the reason I'm printing." "Oh, this is what it is. This is the reason people are printing the papers." Fine. Then I came out of the room and I approached another person who is already there near the big printer. I asked him again the same question. "Why are you printing the papers?" He said, "My dear, when there are paper documents on my table, I flip the pages. When I flip, I wet the paper with my saliva. That tastes really good. That's one of the reasons why I'm using these papers. Oh, what a weird test this is. Fine. Okay. Then I thought this is the survey. My survey is completed. And now I got to know why they're using papers. Now the plan is change management plan from paper to digital environment. I prepared slides. Next day I wanted to give them the presentation. The slides, they flow like this. The first slide, eco-friendly, be eco-friendly. Please consider the environment before printing this email. If you keep on printing these papers, one day all the trees on the earth will vanish. Don't print papers. Second slide, keep your data safe by keeping it digital. Third slide, improve productivity. Don't print the papers, be digital, you will improve the productivity. The fourth slide, control the data. This is very important. You'll be able to do this if you're digital. Save time and money. Yes, don't print paper. If you print papers, you will end up in wasting a lot of money. That's not good. Now collect data anywhere. The last slide, it says, if you keep yourself digital, all your information is digital, you can access that anywhere. So this is a plan, change management plan from paper to digital. Now my preparation slides are ready, presentation is ready. The question in my mind is, does the plan work? Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Sham. And I would request the audience to kindly share their feedbacks with Toastmaster Sham. Well, that brings us to the end of our prepared speeches segment. I would request Toastmaster Priyadarshan, the timer, can you tell me if all the speakers have qualified?
Thank you.
Toastmaster Priyadarshan?
Toastmaster Sebastian. Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, have
Am
all
I
the
audible?
Yes, you are. Have all
Yeah.
the speakers qualified?
No, unfortunately, we have one speaker disqualified. Toastmaster Hanan Halush has been overtimed. Remaining all speakers has been qualified. Thank you.
Toastmaster, Distinguished Toastmaster Alan, as a co-host, would you please launch the poll for the best speaker? I would request everyone from the audience to vote for the best speaker as Toastmaster Alan, Distinguished Toastmaster Alan would display the polls on our screens now. DTM Alan? DTM Alan, are you there? Okay, here we are. Okay, I think we are done with the polls. Okay, before we move on to our next segment, I would like to announce the final gift for today's meeting. And we have here a mic. Now, this mic is symbolic of speaking. And what better platform than Toastmasters do we have for learning and developing our speaking skills? The final question for today is also related to the National Day celebrations. And the question is, listen carefully. The question is, what date is the original Kuwait National Day?
Suraya raised her hand.
Surya? Oh, okay. What date is the original Kuwait National Day? We celebrate it on the 25th of February, that is today, but what is the original date? Amrit?
19th of June.
Well, the microphone goes to Amrit.
Is
yes,
it?
indeed, it is 19th of June. However, the reason why it is celebrated, as I've read from various sources on the internet, the reason why it was shifted from 19th of June to the 25th of February is because of the extreme heat in June. And there's another reason. 25th is also symbolic of the day the Sheikh ascended into power in 1950. So yes, Amrit, the gift is yours. Now we move on to our evaluation segment of today's meeting. And in order to take this segment forward, I would invite our general evaluator for today, Toastmaster Fakhruddin, kindly take over the stage space and take us through the general evaluation segment of today's meeting. Over to you, Toastmaster Fakhruddin.
Good evening once again, Toastmasters of the day, fellow Toastmasters and my dear guest. What a great learning experience. Once again, it's an honor and privilege to play a role of a general evaluator, having got an opportunity to observe the speeches of seasoned Toastmasters, taking us towards a valuable insight of many valuable aspects in your life. Here onwards, let us start with our evaluation section. And to evaluate TM Hannan, I would request DTM Arij to take the podium. DTM Arij, the podium is all yours. DTM Arij, you may unmute yourself.
Oh, you're calling me, sorry. Okay. Did you explain the time?
Yes. For the evaluation part, for 2 minutes, it will be displayed green light. And for 2 minutes, 30 seconds, it will be yellow light. And for 3 minutes, it will be red light. And there will be 30 seconds grace period. Over to you, DTM Aris.
Good evening, everyone. And let's welcome my friends. This is not Suzanne. This is obviously not me. And this is not Layla, but it's a friend of Superman. Today, we have witnessed an amazing speech delivered by the lovely Hanan Halouch. And what a great introduction, Toastmaster Hanan, you have delivered today, and you hugged everyone with your Suzanne and Layla and her husband. And if this broke, my brother will kill me. Anyway. So today, my evaluation to you is going to be into 3 parts where I am going to share the strength points you have showed, the points that you need to improve it, and me and my friends will give you the conclusion and the summary for your amazing speech. First of all, the introduction, the hook, the toys, the conversation between Suzanne and her husband, Superman. That was really great introduction, how you attracted everyone to listen and understand what you are going to say next. You have showed to us the different styles of communication, and you explained and introduced to us your own communication style, and that means you have met the objectives. Your presentation was short, to the point, and amazingly done. Now the points you need to improve it. The introduction went very long. That made you forget to do the Toastmaster salute. In the middle, you asked to share your screen. I wish if you prepared this before and you made sure before even you start, so you won't cut all the informations. You were reading from the slides. I wish if you were sharing stories, personal stories about some aspects for the direct communication style, so we can connect with what you are showing with your stories that you have went through. In the end, what happened to these people? I don't know. We don't know. Yeah, but we want to see how communication styles could help them come together, right? And that was 18 plus, everyone. But you have, you have a great speech, very well prepared, although I felt it could be much more better if you added more personal stories so we can relate to it and we can connect to it. Other than that, you are an amazing speaker. Just don't leave them without happy ending. That will help us to love them more. And amazing speech, and the time, I wrote it in the end. Don't forget to be on time. Thank you so much. Back to you, General Evaluator.
Wow, what an amazing evaluation, DTM reach. Fantastic. And especially, I would say that this creatures holds our attention, you know. This is to give the examples with the creatures always keeps the evaluation or the speech intriguing, you know. Okay, from here onwards, let me take this journey ahead and let me introduce our next evaluator, Toastmaster Asil, to evaluate the great speech given by Toastmasters Kareem. Toastmaster Asil, the podium is all yours.
Wow, you used math in your speech. I and my family come from a long line in math, or at least I inherited love of math from my father. You had great confidence, amazing gesture, eye contact, and you told amazing stories. And you made us laugh when you suffered your karma, sunburn. Maybe that will teach you to listen and use sunscreen for a better future. You divided your speech. Great. You used introduction. You used the body. You used the conclusion. You did better than last time. You were good last time, but today you were better than before. And I'm sure in the future you'll get better and better. Now I have points of improvement to improve yourself. You stood up, you moved back and forth. That was okay, but you could have divided your stories in different positions. You could have talked about your first story on the left. You could have talked about your sunburn story on the right. You could decide for yourself when you divide each movement position. Your vocabulary was okay, but you did what I usually do all the time. You need to balance your vocabulary, low and high. Your vocabulary was average, it was okay, but you could divide it. You could make high or low depending on the situation. If you want to talk about something like a serious situation, you talk it in a high voice. And low voice, you get to decide when to do it. So my suggestion, you take more role in speaker. Every time you see an opportunity to become a speaker, you take it so you can learn feedback and learn so you can become better and better and better. It is one of the first steps into becoming the best public speaker. Work on your movement, decide where you're going to talk about this here, you're going to talk about that there, and vocabulary. You get to decide when to use your high voice and low voice and average voice. In the end, you did a very good job. I am proud of you. I know in the future you're going to do better than before. Back to you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Asil, for the wonderful evaluation. Constructive feedbacks are always productive, and this is the best example of that. Taking the journey forward, let me introduce the mighty man, DTM Allen, as an evaluator for Toastmasters Sairam. DTM Allen, the podium is all yours. Please, you may unmute yourself.
Thank you. Oh my God, the corona is out there. Oh, the tickets are all, the flights are all cancelled. Oh my God, we're all losing our jobs. General Evaluator and friends, I know things are so bad. And during this time when we are at our worst situation, our president came up with an inspirational speech to tell us not to worry, to relax, and everything happens for a reason. And he did this by giving an example of Tom and Jerry, and most importantly, a story that he connected with us. He shared his personal story from his life. And while he was standing there delivering his speech to us, what I really loved is his passion and sincerity in delivering the speech. So great job on that, Toastmaster Sairam. You did a fantastic job on inspiring us. Now, this project in the traditional manual, for those of you who don't know about the traditional manual, this was the final project. This was a 10th project in your competent communicator manual. All right. Before that, there were 10 other projects that you have to do on vocal variety, body language, descriptive project, and all these things. And your 10th project, that is Inspire Your Audience, you need to incorporate all these elements into this speech. But luckily for most of you, in Pathways, you do not have to do that. It is very simple. All you have to do is inspire the audience. But I still believe that to inspire the audience, you still need to incorporate all these elements. Now, it is very important because I'll tell you why. Because it is very challenging to inspire the audience. And if you can take care of these aspects, you can really convince the audience. Now, I'll tell you how you can do this. But it is important that you don't use many words. You play around with local variety and you use dialogues instead of just descriptions. Let me give you an example. You gave an example of Tom and Jerry, right? You gave it as a narration. Now, I'll tell you how to do it as incorporating dialogues, vocal variety, as well as body language. Let me show you how. Hey, Tom, did you know my finger just got cut? Oh, Jerry, relax. Everything happens for a reason. Tom, what are you saying? My finger got cut. One slap I'll give you, all right? Everything happens for a reason, it seems. And that, ladies and gentlemen, was, and now you will know how Jerry, and how that finger got cut, Jerry was able to save his life. You see how I had incorporated a dialogue within a narration. And this way, when I'm showing dialogues as well, I'm not showing the other direction. I'm at least displaying one side of my speech, one side of my face. So you really did an inspiring job by connecting with all of us, Sai, but just work on these elements because with this, I'm sure your speech will go to the next level. And last but not the least, one last final point, please don't use a background if you're delivering a speech because half the time we couldn't even see you. With that, back to you, General Evaluator.
Wow. DTM Allen, who never fails to surprise us. I would love to add one very important point to the whole evaluation is gestures throw life and blood to the speech. And this is the best example of that. A speech, evaluation delivered with good gestures builds an extreme level of connectivity. Here onwards, I take the journey ahead And we have Toastmasters Subish as an evaluator for Toastmasters Suhan. Toastmasters Subish, the stage is all yours.
Once again, good evening to everyone. My target speaker, Toastmaster Suhan. What an excellent topic to speak on this day where we are celebrating the national day of a country which is so much passionate about football. Hats off to you. Your speech was full of positivity, hope, recovering from failures, success, inspiration, motivation, and I feel you were ebullient throughout your speech. In fact, the binding thread was that you were ebullient. If you take your speech, I would like to, I feel that your speech had different sections, which were mostly dialogues. So two important factors which I believe there should be in any dialogues is positioning and vocal variety. And if you really look, when I looked at your speech, in each of this section, you did both of them very well. You had vocal variations as well as positioning as well, which is really good. One thing which I would like to see from you is in terms of your speed variations. I felt that your speed was quite monotonous. Okay, so one of the things where you could have improved is, see, your speech had a lot of very powerful messages. Now, one of the best way to convey any messages by going with intentional pauses. Just before any message, you can have, just put an intentional pause and then deliver it. This will have two effects. One thing is, obviously, it'll create more impact. And second thing is, it'll work with your speed variations as well. So overall, it was good. So in terms of some areas where you can work on this speed variations and when you're delivering the messages, okay. Use of props, perfect. You had used it, and you had a tagline, which you said with the ball, you had a goal. So that was really good. Always taglines brings the audience back to the speech whenever you say that. So that's a good way of attracting the audience attention. So overall, excellent message, very well delivered speech in terms of dialogues. Just work on your speed variations and you will be soon bend it like Suhan. All the best. Or the general evaluator.
TM Subish, you have given a wonderful example of direct communications. This is a speech given by TM Hanan, to the point, intact and precise. Here onwards, let me take the journey ahead. We have the next evaluator as TM Hanan, who will be evaluating DTM Amrit. TM Hanan, let me welcome to you on stage.
Thank you, General Evaluator Toastmaster Fakhruddin. Now, Toastmaster Amrit, what a speech that is full of riddles. Lincoln, Corleone, altruistic, Abby. I mean, you kept me on toes trying to understand what is going on throughout your speech. Amazing. You grabbed my attention from the beginning till the end. You were looking for a friend where you were actually looking for Abby/Amrit. Amazing. You started with this amazing background and we were able to see you there. Come on, I need you to teach me how to do that. Amazing technical skills. You talked about Abby/Amrit. From the beginning, he liked football. He was asked to coach a group of kids how to play football, how the journey, how he was able to coach the kids, different coaching scenarios. And then you took us to a second stage of his life, his career. He was not happy at the beginning, but then he was asked to do a bigger challenge, to learn or to coach a bigger team. he was asked to be altruistic. What is altruistic? I had to look it up in Google. So, to my understanding, Amrit has two leadership styles, coaching and altruistic. But again, Corleone, if I understood correctly, is a mafia don. So where is that part in your leadership style? I couldn't see that in your leadership. I couldn't see that in your speech. I was able to see Amrit as a coach. I was able to see Amrit as an altruistic leader, but I wanted to see Amrit as Corleone. So amazing speech, amazing technical background, amazing, full of attention journey, full of riddles, and you were able to get us to that. We were able to visualize who's Amrit and what he was doing. Now, I believe your speech was targeting a more advanced audience. So maybe at a later time, maybe you try to symbolize. Maybe at the end, you try to explain to us, what did you mean by your title? What is altruistic? What is your other type of leadership? Now, one point to him, one slide where you were mentioning your leadership style coaching, the word coaching itself was split into two, which was confusing to me. And then I was able to understand you meant coaching. You met your objective, Toastmaster Amrit. Very good. And I salute you for that. Excellent IT skills, great background, great introduction, which we were able to follow through with you. Great conclusion at the end. Just work on just bit of self, because we want, some of your audience would be simple. Some of your audience will not get what you are trying to say. So try to work on to get the information you wanted to pass to every level of your audience. At the end, thank you very much, and back to you, General Evaluator.
Wow, TM Hanan, self-confidence is a superpower, and you have given a wonderful example of that. What an amazing evaluation. Here onwards, I take this journey towards the last but not the least, TM Hari, as an evaluator for TM Shyam. TM Hari, the podium is all yours.
Thank you. Good evening once again. And my evaluation about my target speaker, TM Shyam Sundar. What an introduction about Shyam Sundar, about your office new project, the client. The story is very interesting. So everything I have to visualize how you are working in the office, the client conversation, everything is visualized. So you are sitting where, so how they are wasting the papers, how to go digitalize about your survey, everything, the conversation with the manager, with that lady and another employee, everything we have to visualize. So in the office, you have to think about how they are wasting the paper and the nature using paper instead of digital. So grab the opportunity to change that thing completely. Okay, so you are going to apply the one plan. So it definitely works. So you are telling in your speech, you are using little humor. So I'm expecting more in the conversations. How that manager, what is the intention to use the printout? So whenever you don't like that thing, so immediately you pull the paper and throw it. So it is something is happiness. And about that lady, so why she was using the paper. So you have that smell. Then you have to use that props, okay, using the smell, using some vocal variety. So then you are conducting a survey. So how to change the plan, how to change this manual plan to digitalize one. Then you prepare the plan using the slides. So you are using in the speech, you are using the slides parallel to the explanation. Then it is more effective in your speech. So and there are little suggestions for improvement. So finally you prepare the slides. So after that one, then you have to execute that one in the office. But you stop your speech, only prepare the slides, and you are going to apply. So it is better to apply the plan. Then you have to finish your project, that management plan. Finally, it is very good speech. So the take home message is save the nature. Definitely works. So nowadays we are wasting so many things and destroy the nature. That's why we are in the now we are seeing the consequences. So excellent speech about this one, Sham. All the best. Looking forward for more speeches. Forward to you.
What a wonderful evaluation, TM Hari. Humility is very important because it keeps you fresh and new. And your evaluation was the best example of that. Here onwards, we end the fantastic evaluation session, and let us move on to our timer for today's meeting. TM Priyadarshana, I would request TM Priyadarshana to come up with the timing report for today's meeting.
Thank you, General Evaluator. All the evaluator speeches has been qualified as per the standards. Do you want me to say the timing details, or is General Evaluator?
If all have been qualified and if time persists, you can short and quickly explain.
We are actually running a little behind the time. So all the qualified is qualified time.
I guess if everyone is qualified, we can proceed.
Fine.
With the general evaluation.
Let us move on to the next section is about grammarian. I would love TM Sairam to give their reports on the grammarian section.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters. General Evaluator, Toastmaster Fakhruddin. Since it is a speech marathon and we don't have the grammarian and our counter for today's meeting, and it was the only word of the day.
Okay. Thanks for the message. Since I have been moving ahead based on the written agenda, and I'm sure certain motions might have been passed to amend the agenda, and I have missed it. So I regret. So overall, let me give my evaluation, or as you guys said in the beginning, a police report or a evaluator's report. Well, the overall meeting has been conducted on time, precise. I did not find any miscommunications despite being conducted on a virtual platform. It has been an amazing experience. Well, it has been a great learning experience. They say that constructive criticism or constructive feedbacks are the pillars for a change towards a betterment and to bring a better and streamlined quality of work in any project you take up in your life. We had a great learning experience from the speech of TM Hannan about direct communications. Then TM Kareem led us towards the details about the law of average. TM Sairam ebulliently explaining about how to be positive in every situation of life. Then we had TM Suhan, who banned it like Beckham and gave us a fantastic story on football and a very intriguing message. And last, and TM Amrit, my goodness, what a great speech it was. Amazing. It was really like there were so many messages that speech had overall that I was not able to define which of them to pick it up. Different leadership styles, how to understand the mindsets of your trainees, to get them on board, to let them perform in the best of their abilities. The same thing we apply as a mentors in our club, so that how our members, the new members or the existing members, can take the project smoothly. So that was an amazing insight. And at the end, TM Sham, what a wonderful message you have given to save the valuable sources and the energies by going paperless. That is, the whole world is talking about it right now. So how to go into a paperless form, and then to save our trees and to save the maximum energies, to focus on sustainable energy, so our future generations can also take a lot of benefit out of it. So overall, a great learning experience. In all honesty, I only have is a constructive criticism. I do not find any such loopholes wherein I can give my valuable feedback to change it. It has been a great learning. And here onwards, I would request if we can have the award section.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Fakhruddin, for your valuable general evaluation report. I really commend all the evaluators. Not only have they imparted their valuable evaluations to their respective target speakers, but I'm sure each and everyone here have learned not only from the prepared speeches that were delivered, but also from the evaluations that were imparted to each of these speakers. And that is the beauty of any Toastmasters meeting, whether it be a speakathon or a regular Toastmasters meeting, the learnings that we take away from it. Not as much as the content. The content, yes, of the speeches is important, but what we learn of how uh, criticism, how uh, evaluations need to be given, how evaluations need to be taken, and such aspects are the fundamentals of what Toastmasters actually teaches us. And these are the wonderful takebacks that we have from today's meeting. I would now proceed with the conclusion of this meeting. I would like to thank everyone for being such a lovely audience today, and would like to wish each and everyone once again a very happy Kuwait National Day, and tomorrow the Kuwait Liberation Day as well. Unfortunately, we can't celebrate the way we used to in the past, and but that shouldn't deter our spirits. I can see Arij rolling her eyes. I hope I hope you ate well today, though, Arij. No? Okay. Well, let me now re-invite our Desert Pioneers Toastmasters Club President, Toastmaster Sairam, while he takes us through the business section of today's meeting, if there are any important announcements, notices, and also to announce the best speaker, to launch the poll for the best evaluator, which also includes the general evaluator as well. And I would request the audience to vote for the best evaluator so that Toastmaster Sairam can make the necessary announcements. Thank you very, very much. And hereby I sign off as the Toastmaster of the day. Thank you for being such a lovely audience.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Sebastian. Really, it's a wonderful meeting. I hope all the members have enjoyed the meeting today. And we are about to launch the poll for best evaluator and best role player right now. So I request all of you to go with the poll here. Now I'm going to release for the best evaluator. Thank you. Here we are releasing the best role play, the poll for the best role player award. Thank you. With that, first of all, I would like to say thanks to each and every role player of today's meeting, particularly our general evaluator, Toastmaster Fakhruddin. He has taken up the role at last moment at 5:55 p.m. Thank you, Toastmaster Fakhruddin.
Thank you.
I know we are in a holiday mood, all of us. Still, a lot of members have shown up to give their speeches and has taken up the roles as well. As I said, General Evaluator Toastmaster Fakhruddin and our timer and tech moderator Toastmaster Priyadarshan Reddy. I should say thanks to both of you. Thank you so much. Now it's the time for announcing the results. Are we ready? Please unmute yourself. We are done.
Yes.
Yes.
To make noise. Yes. So now, Best Evaluator Award goes to, any guess? Here we have DTM Ellen Paul. DTM Ellen Paul, congratulations.
Good job, Ellen.
Our next award goes to the Best Role Player Award, Toastmaster Sebastian. Toastmaster Sebastian, congratulations. Great job, well done. And our last award of today's meeting, the Best Speaker Award goes to, any guess? Please. Toastmaster Amrit. Congratulations, Toastmaster Amrit. Once again, congratulations to all the winners. With that, okay, let me tell you, we conduct our meetings on every second and fourth Tuesday, and our next meeting will be on 9th of March 2021. So I hope all of us again will be available for our next meeting. Stay safe, be at home and don't go outside. But two things. Number one, we'll take the photograph. Number two, tomorrow we are having the football match. It's initiated by our Desert Pioneers, but all Dreamweavers, Toastmasters Club and Sims, all of us are coming. So with that, I adjourn the meeting. Now it's a photo session.
What time is it?
Sairam, what time?
Sairam, what time is the
9 to 10. Morning, 9 to 10. Not only tomorrow, actually, every Saturday.
Is it allowed?
All of our members are organizing this football, volleyball, everything. It's a sports day actually for us.
Yeah, but is
To
it
relax.
Is it
allowed?
allowed?
If it is allowed means.
Do you want to be like caught and put in the jail or something? I don't know.
No, it is actually allowed. It was not allowed, but now it is allowed, it seems.
Either it
Okay,
will be a
please
memory
don't
or
call
next.
us, ask us to come and get you out of jail or anything. So we will act, we don't know you.
If we come back safely back to home, it will be a memory that we had a great day. Otherwise, as you said, if something happens like you said, it will be an experience.
When we bend
Now
it
you
like
know. Now you know whom to call, isn't it?
Of course not me. And Amrit is in Rome, so yeah, he will not
All
be
right,
there.
let's take a photo before everyone leaves, and
Let's
keep
take a
your
photo.
video on.
I also have an announcement, so yalla.
So what is the gesture?
I don't know, what is
Like
it? Is it
normal
like
one?
a...
Yeah, just have
let's
a
like the crazy people. Ooh.
I have no clue. Sebastian,
Saira,
we
where
are
are
the
you?
team Moody, so you tell us.
Yeah, maybe this like
Okay,
for
like this.
victory liberation.
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
Oh wait, let me remove the background. Saira, where are you?
Okay, everyone ready?
It disappeared. There we go. Oh, nice. Oh no.
Still, I can't see you.
Remove the
Yeah,
virtual
remove your background.
Who is clicking the picture?
Me.
Sohan.
All right, let's be ready. 1, 2, 3. Cheese. Liberation Day. National Day. David Beckham.
Huh?
Where does that come from?
Okay, khalas.
Suraya had an announcement, guys. What?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's very late. But I'm sure you've seen me just spamming the group sometimes because we do have a monthly newsletter and I never really got around to properly saying it. But please, if you have any article, maybe even artwork, really like show yourself for who you are, because the newsletter, the whole aim is to bring pioneers and their other talents to the stage, basically, through newsletters. So you can use the newsletter as a way of practicing any other talents you may have and actually showing it to other people and being like, hey, look, my work is out in the world. If you want me to do a speech on this, hire me, something like that. I was putting that in mind because we have so many senior members and so many amazing members. But Toastmasters, as it is only there really for you to get comfortable. But once you want to get out of that comfort, you can use, say, networking skills for one. And the newsletter can be a testament to what you have to offer to the world. So say, I don't know, Hanan is good. I'm not too sure. Hanan, what do you work as? What do you work as? What is your job?
Senior manager at the Australian College. But I have a suggestion for the newsletter. Maybe since we had a season of competition and contest in December and January, maybe each one of the participants or the contestants, they can talk about their experience, each one with like a paragraph, talk about their preparation, how was the contest, is it their first time participating, their feelings of the outcome, whatever. So I think it can be something good that to start with for the newsletter.
Yeah, there can be a complete segment
Yeah,
about contest experience, something like that, where each contestant
Yes.
share their experience. That's a very good suggestion, actually. You can fill in a lot of
And he's gone. Connection lost in Rome.
pages.
Abby left the room.
That's
to
a
my
very
internet
good
connection.
suggestion. Thank you so much.
Okay, so Soraya, you'll be approaching each one of us for this article?
Definitely. And
I'll start
especially
working on mine, no
first-timers.
problem.
Oh, for sure. First-timers especially, and those who have one, I'd say, division level, because I'm sure two very different experiences.
Yes.
And that will be nice to see. Hopefully, I can also get some of the newbies.
Yeah, maybe also we
hope they
can talk
don't
about the
escape.
visit of the international president.
Yes.
Something, yeah, I think we need to add the testimonials we had from all the visitors, the guests. We have to highlight that in the newsletter.
Yes, for sure.
Okay, guys.
And anything else It's about you, the pioneers. So honestly, you take the stage. So message me if you have anything else, and also membership.
Please,
Hanan,
Don't
really
you
like-
mean don't you mean that we pioneers take the pages, not the stage?
Ah, the center page. There you go. Nice.
Okay, guys, yalla. We have to go.
Once again, please,
Tyram, you
like
wanted
our
to say
posters.
something?
Please like
Sorry,
our posters
Sam?
on FB. On FB, we have posted so many posters. Please like it.
Send us the link.
At
Okay.
we hardly found every time 3 or 4 likes. Please.
Say one more,
Send us the
please.
link. Like you usually
Yeah,
do.
we'll send it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yalla,
I
good
have-
night.
I have one quick thing to say.
Yeah.
Whoever has won the gifts that I'm giving away, kindly send me your locations on my WhatsApp so I can accordingly arrange to meet you or send my office driver or something.
I'm
and
not happy. I didn't get any gift.
I will send something.
We have to get Sebastian for another meeting, and he can give us more.
Yeah.
And there's gifts, yeah.
Sure.
Okay, guys. Yalla, good night.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, sir.
Bye.
Thank you so much, everybody. Great.
Okay, خلاص.
Thank you,
It's still
Toastmasters.
recording. Wait,
Yeah,
Saram,
do
don't go
something.
yet. Yeah. Oh my God. Wait, it's okay. You're also a pioneer.
Hey,
Don't
Priya,
stop
how is your
recording.
Yeah, stop recording.